وسهلا بكل الذين ينضموا للاستماع إلى راديو بلدي أول راديو عربي أمريكي ويعنى بقضايا العرب في المهجر. برامجنا في راديو بلدي كل يوم جمعة من 8 وحتى 9 صباحا مع ليلى الحسيني في بث حي ومباشر عبر WNZK راديو 690 AM. صباح الخير بلدي، صباح الخير لكل مستمعينا.
Welcome to Radio Baladi, the first Arab, Middle Eastern, and American simulcast radio show. Radio Baladi is broadcast every Friday morning on WNZK 690 AM from 8 until 9 Eastern Time on Good Morning Michigan with Layla Al-Husseini. Our call-in number 248-557-3300. And now, stay tuned for the best radio talk show on Arab and American issues with your host, Layla Al-Husseini.
Today's program is brought to you by Sling TV. Ramadan Kareem. This Ramadan, Sling International brings you a brand new way to enjoy top exclusive Arabic TV programming, free for 30 days. Sling TV has the best and most exclusive channels for you to watch: NBC, ART, MTV, Al Jazeera Arabic, and more. Plus, at no extra cost, you'll have more entertainment channels with foreign films, new releases, and classics. Get all top exclusive channels starting at only $25 a month. Don't want to deal with the hassle of installation? No problem, none's required. Don't want to get stuck in an annual contract? No worries, it's free cancellation. No hidden fees and no credit check. Don't let this Ramadan pass you by without having the essential channels on your TV. Don't miss out on your favorite dramas like Bab El Hara, El Kabiyawi, and more. Free for 30 days. That's right, we said free. And you'll pay our new low rates afterwards. Top packages are only $25 a month after the first month. No obligation and no hassle. You can relax and watch your favorite TV shows, news, sports, and entertainment today. And with Sling TV, you can enjoy TV anywhere, anytime, on your TV, laptop, phone, computer, or tablet, free for 30 days. Visit sling.com/Arabic3 to get started today. That's sling.com/Arabic3 or call us at 855-372-8015. Free trial requires email and credit card. Unless you cancel before the trial ends, your card will be charged. Restrictions apply. Visit sling.com/Arabic3 for full details.
My favorite TV channel has been removed. I was ripped off.
Don't be fooled by unauthorized TV services. You could not only lose your favorite TV channels, but also lose your money. Keep your eyes out and avoid offers that just seem too good to be true. There are numerous companies and TV services that are selling a set-top box or providing a website who claims to have rights to distribute NBC, Al Jazeera, Art, and many other Arabic TV channels.
Then who is legally authorized to provide my favorite TV channels in the U.S.?
Dish Network and Sling International provide your favorite TV channels and programs. For more information, go to www.dishnetwork.com/Arabic or www.sling.com/Arabic and sign up today and watch your favorite TV programs and save money.
Hey everybody, I'm Ray Hanania, and it is the second Friday of the month, July 10th, 2015, and it's 8:05 in the morning here in Detroit, the capital of stuffed grape leaves, tabbouleh, malfouf, mensef. Oh man, just thinking about Detroit makes me hungry. I love Middle Eastern food so much. I got to get out there. It's been a while. This is the Arab Daily News radio show live on Radio Baladi with Layla Al-Husseini's U.S. Arab Radio Network. And we are live, like I said, in Detroit on 690 AM radio and live in Washington, D.C. on 700 AM radio. We're also live online on WNZK's 690's online website. You can go to our website at thearabdailynews.com or U.S. Arab Radio Network or WNZK to get that link and listen to this radio show anytime. Live, any of the programs on WNZK. You can listen to them live online, or if you're just driving around the street going to buy, some mensef this morning, a nice Friday. Isn't that when we all eat mensef on Friday? That's what I think I'll do today at lunch. You're listening to us hopefully on the radio, and if you are listening to us, no matter where, if it's online or if it's on your radio or in your car, you can dial us up at 248-557-3300, and share your opinion. Tell us what you think. That's why I'm on radio. I want to hear what you have to say. A lot of your ideas end up becoming parts of my columns. Make sure you check out my website at thearabdailynews.com or at my syndicated columns at the IllinoisNewsNetwork.com. You can also check out RayHanania.com. And I was in Hawaii this couple of weeks ago. I spent 10 days there. And you know what was interesting to me was I found President Barack Obama's home. But I'm not sure Hawaii likes Obama. There's no aloha for Obama. You know, that it's just amazing how racist this country really is. Listen, I live in Illinois, where I'm broadcasting, by the way, through WNZK. And you can go down to Dixon, Illinois, and find the house where Ronald Reagan was born. Okay? You can go there. You can find Ronald Reagan's house. But, you know, he's a white dude, of course, and so were all the other presidents who have run this country. But not Obama. Remember, he's African American. I know that's hard to believe. I know you didn't know that. Nobody's pointed that out. But I found his house. I found Barack Obama's house. And I'm going to tell you what, they don't care. They hate the fact that Obama is from Hawaii. They don't want to have nothing to do with him, even though Obama and his family go to Hawaii all the time. And it's really sad. But you know what the real irony is about Hawaii? The real irony about Hawaii is that, Oahu, the island, is the home of Pearl Harbor. Well, who do you think is the largest population in Hawaii today? All right? Think Pearl Harbor. Think December 7th, 1941, a day that will live in infamy, to quote FDR. And think about all the 70-plus years that have passed since that war. The Japanese are the largest population in Hawaii. Yeah, so that's kind of ironic, isn't it? I didn't see many African Americans. And to be honest, when I went to Hawaii, it was because I was visiting my daughter. I read a book, which was a mistake, about the history of Hawaii and how terribly the white people treated the Hawaiian natives. We basically stole their country. Is that what happens in this world? Somebody likes your country and they go there and they steal it. They steal Hawaii. They steal Palestine. They steal Syria. They steal Iraq. You know, all these countries in the Middle East, we're the quintessential example or icon of how the man, and of course I'm not talking about Adam. He's a pretty good guy. We're not going to blame him. He's a producer over at WNZK. How you doing, Adam?
Not too bad, Ray. How you doing?
Oh, good. Or sorry, he's probably working or falling asleep going,
never falling asleep. Never falling asleep.
Are you?
Always working.
That's right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say that you were working hard.
That's right.
Keeping that radio station on the air, and you do a good job. You ever been to Hawaii, Adam?
I've never been to Hawaii.
All right. Well, I tell you what. You tell Layla that I want her to give you a raise and a ticket round trip for you and your girlfriend, wives, if you have more than one wife.
Just one wife. I couldn't manage another one.
Yeah, I know. That's tough. If you're going to manage them, you got to do them the American way, which is to marry, divorce, marry, divorce, marry, divorce. The Arab way is a little tough. You keep them all, and it's just a big headache. So I'll tell you what. Tell her that I said you deserve a raise. You're doing a good job. I know she's going to increase her salary wages for you.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Listen, everyone, our number is 248-557-3300. There are so many other things, too, of course, that we're going to talk about today. It was a year ago that Israel really viciously, they intentionally went out of their way to attack and kill people in the Gaza Strip. And you know what's amazing to me is nobody cares. The world says, oh, this is about democracy. We want to bring democracy to the Middle East. Well, how about bring democracy to Israel? How about bring democracy to the way Israel treats Palestinians? How about bring democracy and the rule of law? But they don't want to do that. They're more worried about, hey, let's bring democracy to the Arab world. Bring democracy to the Arab world? No, what they're trying to do is they want to control the Arab world. All they care about is money. They don't care about you. So they have us all fighting against each other, the Chaldeans, the Muslims, the Palestinians, the Jordanians, the Syrians, the Iraqis. You know, they got us all at each other's throat. The Egyptians, the Coptic Egyptians, the Muslim Brotherhood. They want us to go at each other because they want us to be in disarray, so we're not paying attention to the fact that they're stealing all our money, they're stealing all our oil, they're stealing all our resources. It's the new way to take over. They did it in Hawaii. I'll tell you, I met a Hawaiian, and they don't like to talk to white people. They will not talk to Americans. Native Hawaiians, a lot of them, they hate Americans for what they did to their islands. And I'm telling you, take a minute and study the history of Hawaii, and you will understand what, sadly, America is all about. Give us a buzz at 248-557-3300, and I know I like to pound on America, and I'll tell you why. I want to make it a better country. It's not that I hate America. I am American. I happen to be Palestinian American. My parents were from Bethlehem and Jerusalem, but I love this country. I love it so much. I did what most Israelis don't do. Yeah, you heard that. I do what most Israelis don't do. I served in the U.S. American military during the Vietnam War. And while I was in Hawaii, I got a hat that says, I'm a Vietnam veteran, so I wear that all over the place. I hate it when people I don't know if you read the story about Michael Oren, the Israeli former ambassador to the United States. He was an American, born in, I think, New York or New Jersey or wherever. You know, who cares? These guys, they don't care, these Israelis. He goes to Israel. He becomes Netanyahu's ambassador to the United States. And, you know, his whole life, he didn't join and serve the United States military. He joined and served the Israeli military. And now he's leading a campaign to attack Obama, to bash the Palestinians, to attack anybody who dares to try to hold Israel accountable, you know, for their acts. And that's all we want. We want Israel to become a better country, to live up to democracy, stop being a tyrant and a dictator, and stop killing innocent people. Well, this Michael Oren, he's the worst. And when I point that out to Americans, I'll tell you what, they're very sensitive. They do not like the fact that many of these Israelis, like Michael Oren, who lived here and who took advantage of America, never once risked their lives for this country, never once served in the military the way so many American Arabs served in the military. You know, we got a lot of American Arabs that served in the American military. Yeah, I served during the Vietnam War. My brother was a U.S. Marine. My dad and my uncle served during World War II. Not like Michael Oren. He didn't want to serve in the American military. That's a typical Israeli. They use and abuse this country. They don't care about it. And you know something? They can yell at me all they want. I don't care because I am an American. I served, and they didn't. Let's go to the phone lines again at 248-557-3300. We want to hear your voice. Let's say hello to Joseph. You're on the air here at the Arab Daily News Radio Show. How you doing, Joseph?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you? I hope I didn't shake up your breakfast plate. What are you eating this morning?
No. The white man went to Africa to teach them the Christianity, the missionary.
Right.
They were holding the Bible to teach the people. After a while, the people in Africa, they find out they are holding the Bible and the white man owned the land.
Right. They wanted the land. They want all the resources. It's sad because, you know, it's not all Americans. They're not all bad. It's not all Christians. They're not all bad. But some of them, why do we let them be bad, right? Why do we let them do that? What they did to Hawaii made me sick. It ruined my vacation. Do you think I'm wrong to feel that way? Oh, we lost Joseph. Oh, no, Joseph. I hope he didn't say anything bad. Remember, don't say anything bad. Adam is quick with that red button. He'll just bump you off. 248-557-3300 is our number. I'd love to have you call in and talk. If you want to talk about even the Gaza Strip, a year later, they won't even allow any supplies to go in there. They still have an embargo. It's terrible. And how many years? Syria is just a mess. It's so how many people are going to die in Syria before anybody takes it seriously? That's so terrible. And Iraq is in turmoil. You know, just because we don't hear about it in the news doesn't mean there aren't problems. It's terrible. And you look at Egypt, and I got to say, I just don't get it. On the one hand, the Muslim Brotherhood kind of scared me. When we got rid of Mubarak, he was a dictator. I think it was, 2011 or something, 2013. I don't remember the dates. It's all a blur. It almost doesn't even matter anymore. They do all that, and they implement democracy, quote unquote. They have an election. They elect Mohammed Morsi. He's with the Muslim Brotherhood. Who didn't think the Muslim Brotherhood was going to run everything? They were the only people that had an organization in Egypt when they had the election. So Morsi gets in office, and what do you think is the first thing he does? He starts wanting to change the constitution to make Egypt an Islamic state, to make it an Islamic country. Let's go to Jerry on our line at 248-557-3300. Jerry, you're on. How you doing, man?
Morning, Ray, and welcome back.
Yeah, I'm trying. Last month I was out. I couldn't. The mornings are tough for me.
We miss you.
I work hard. I got like 20 clients. That's all I do is media and public relations and politics.
But Mr. Ray, Mr. Khalil Hashim did a good job. He did your homework when you were away on vacation. So we salute Mr. Khalil Hashim.
That's
and,
good.
Of course, Ms. Layla Al-Husseini. All of them, they empty that gap that Mr. Ray Hanania left it for them.
Hanania. That name sounds cool. So cool to say. Hanania.
Hanania. Did I say it right?
Yes, you did. I'm just joking. I like to do humor. We need more humor in our lives, don't we? As Arabs, we get too angry too quick, don't we?
Yes. Right. In the meantime, I just want to salute you. You are a true American. And same as me and Adam, we're proud to be an American.
Yes.
And God bless America. And by the way, we were just celebrated last week the birth of great nation, the 4th of July, the Independence Day.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and
right.
You're absolutely right. 4th of July.
Exactly.
We put some real meaning into it. It's about true democracy is treating everybody the right way. But you know what? Unfortunately, they don't. They don't treat everybody equally, especially Arabs. Even as good as you are, Jerry, honestly, most Americans can't tell the difference between a Palestinian, a Pakistani, an Iranian, an Indian. They can't. They don't know Muslim or Christian. I talk to Americans all the time. They do not know what a Chaldean is. As far as they're concerned, a Chaldean is a Muslim. Do you know that? Did you realize that?
Absolutely right. You're
They're
right.
Crazy, these Americans. They don't know what's going on.
No, I mean, look, Ray, during the Gulf War, when there is a war, against the former Iraqi president Saddam Hussein, and you remember some individual walked to 7-Eleven or a gas station, and there was a man wearing a turban, and he was a Sikh from India. With all my respect to the people from India, he was shot and killed, mistaking him he's an Arab from the Middle East.
Wow.
So they don't know the difference.
Yeah, no, you're right. That was one of the big things that always bothered me about September 11th.
I do blame also the media for not giving our great American people the knowledge and the picture about the people all over the globe. Like when you ask somebody a long time ago during the Gulf War, an average American citizen on the street, where is Iraq? He say it's south of the United States. It's by Cuba. It's by Colombia. They didn't know where was Iraq during the Gulf War. They asked people, who is the vice president of the United States of America? And some people, they say that was Al Gore, which is Joseph Biden. So, I mean, sometimes, Ray, I don't blame the American people. It's what the media feed the people.
Yes.
But
listen, Jerry, we got to take a break. I've been holding out, and
I will wait for you, Ray.
If you don't mind, so make a final comment because I missed the break I was supposed to take.
After the break, I'll give my final. Thank you, Ray.
All right, we'll talk to you later. Thank you, Jerry. That was Jerry. I'm Ray Hanania here at the Arab Daily News radio station. Our number, 248-557-3300. We're going to take a break and continue the conversation when I come back, right after these messages.
Are you going to start a restaurant or grocery store soon? Do you need floor plans and designs? Call Najee Abood at 734-744-9796. Do you want to buy kitchen and restaurant equipment at discount prices? Call Najee Abood now, 734-744-9796. New Concept Products and Design, the trademark of kitchen equipment. 5% discount on all purchases of $75,000 or more. New Concept Products and Design, new location, 31185 Schoolcraft in Livonia. Learn more at www.newconceptproducts.com. Call Najee Abood, 734-744-9796.
أسواق زمزم الواقع على 24065 أورشد لك في مدينة فارمington هيلز ترحب بالجالية العربية والكلدانية. تنزيلات كبيرة على عموم المواد الغذائية في يوم الأربعاء من كل أسبوع. لا تنسوا فريش كاري اوت، جميع انواع المعجنات، وايضا صواني الكمبو المشكله والصمون الحار. لحوم حلال الجاليه العربيه والاسلاميه الملحمه باداره قصاب الجاليه المعروف سلوان جربوع. زوروهم على 24065 اورشد لك في مدينه فارمington هيلز او اتصلوا بهم على 248-476-0300. اسواق زمزم للمذاق عنوان لجميع طلباتكم. اتصلوا على 248-476-0300. اسواق زمزم للمعامله الراقية وكرم الضيافة عنوان.
And welcome back to the Arab Daily News radio show here at Layla Hosseini's Radio Baladi and U.S. Arab Radio Network, live in Detroit on 690 AM radio and in Washington, D.C. on 700 AM radio. We're also live on WNZK 690 online website. You can go to my website at thearabdailynews.com to get all those links and all the information. Or you can call in at 248-557-3300. Unfortunately, we only got an hour here in the morning, the second Friday of every month, so I don't have a lot of time. I want to thank Jerry for calling in. I'd love to just sit and chat with him for like 3 hours, but I know there's no way we can possibly do that. So, Jerry, you're a good guy for understanding. I appreciate it. Around 8:30, we'll be checking in with Father Sean McManus of the Holy Land Principles Campaign. It's a campaign to bring fair employment to the people of Palestine and Israel. They did it in Ireland, and he believes they can do it in Palestine and Israel too. Remember, our number is 248-557-3300. I want to hear what you have to say, so we want you to call in. We were talking about all the other things like this democracy in Egypt, and as Jerry was pointing out, you know, Americans, they're kind of misled by the media. The media is very vicious and biased. It's anti-Arab. And we really only have one weekly newspaper, the Arab News in Detroit, which is the only weekly newspaper that publishes, Arab newspaper that publishes across the country. We have a couple other papers. They're biweekly, which means twice a month. And we're weak. I don't mean that the editors and the staff of all these Arab newspapers, including my own, the ArabDailyNews.com, that they're doing a bad job. They're not doing a bad job. They're doing a good job. But the community doesn't support us. The community doesn't support our news media. So we're stuck. They'll buy the racist Chicago Sun-Times or even the Detroit Free Press. Come on, how many Arabs work at the Detroit Free Press or the Detroit News? Seriously, you tell me. How many? It's not a lot. And you got to wonder, if Detroit has so many American Arabs, there should be more Arabs who are working as journalists. And I'm going to tell you what, if there were more Arabs working as journalists, we wouldn't have these problems today. But there are so few Arabs who are working as journalists and so little support from the American Arab community and the Muslim Arab community, because, you know, Muslims, the thing that I guess bothers me a little bit, I always get in trouble when I say this, but I don't care. I'm honest. You know, I'm Arab. I happen to be Christian. I could be Muslim. I'm, you know, Muslim by culture. It doesn't matter to me. But, there are groups that are all Muslim, and it's a Muslim agenda, and they address a lot of Arab issues, and the focus gets away from Arab. It becomes religious, and I'm against that. I don't think we should be religious groups. Keep the religion in the church and the mosque and in the temple. Don't bring it into politics. Israel does that. I think it's wrong. Not every Israeli agrees with that. They bring religion right out there, and we should keep religion where it belongs. It should be a personal thing, not a mandate to run everybody's life. I'm sorry, you may not agree with me, but that's the thing. We have to learn how to be tolerant and have discussions and debates and talk about other things. Egypt is a tragedy that is being destroyed by religion and oppression. So Morsi gets elected, and he right away wants to change the country and make it a religious state. And the same people that put him in fought against him. The military took him out, and now we have al-Sisi. And al-Sisi is arresting everybody, and he's putting everybody on death row. Let's go to the phone line for a real quick call because we've got one more break in 2 minutes. 248-557-3300. I'm Ray Hanania. You're on the line, caller. Give us your name.
It's CJ.
Hey, CJ, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, thanks. I called about something else, but just to comment on what you're saying now about why, the Muslims make it religious and this, and you just want to talk about Arab issues. Well, that's part of, and then I'm proud to be American. This is the whole problem, is any division. We're all human first.
Yes.
Before you're an Arab, you're a human. Before you're a Muslim, you're a human. Before you're an American, you're a human. Okay?
We should be. You're right.
Yeah, and another thing about the Americans, of course, the mass media is going to, they all have an agenda, and most people are asleep and they just follow things, but don't sit here and say that, that Americans are, what you're saying about how we don't...
we're not, I tell you, what I'm saying is
we're
not
educated. The brush.
Yeah,
no,
CJ, what I'm saying is Americans are not educated.
Man. Listen, people are getting sick of it. People are getting sick of it. This whole, draw Muhammad and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay? You want all this rights for you to do this, and don't tell me to take the job off, don't tell me to do this, don't tell me to do this, but yet you want to restrict my speech.
Yeah.
The reason why people...
I want to restrict your speech when it has to do with hate, and I'm not saying you, but if you're going to draw an ugly picture of Muhammad, not because you want to draw an ugly picture of Muhammad, but because you want to incite somebody, that's wrong. That's racism. Thank you, CJ, for calling. I'm going to move on. We got a break, and then I'm going to bring Sean McManus on. But, CJ, thank you. I appreciate your opinion. Adam, let's take our second break so I know we got to crowd those in. I missed the first one. Let's do that 8:30 break. And when we come back, we're going to talk with Father Sean McManus, who is with the Holy Land Principles. And we're going to kind of talk a little bit with him for about 15 minutes about what those principles are about and his website, if you want to get more information, at holylandprinciples.org. I'm Ray Hanania here at the Arab Daily News radio show in Detroit on 690 AM radio and 700 AM radio in Washington, D.C. Our number 248-557-3300. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk with Father Sean McManus. I'm Ray Hanania. We'll be right back right after these messages.
Jumana K-Ruz. You've seen her images on giant billboards across the metro. Jumana K-Ruz. You've seen her images on buses across the city. Now get to know Jumana K-Ruz.
Most people who sit in my office across from my desk are hurting on so many levels. One thing people do not know about medical malpractice is that the statute of limitation, meaning the time that you have to bring suit against a doctor, a hospital, is 2 years. In medical malpractice, that's a very, very short period of time. Not every lawyer is an advocate, but every lawyer should be an advocate.
Let Jumana K-Ruz protect your rights. Call the law offices of Jumana K-Ruz at 1-866-YOUR-RIGHTS, extension 100, or visit yourrights.com.
Ziyad brand. Quality products from our family to yours. Ziad Brothers Importing offers the finest quality products, including brands like Sultan, Kraft, Nestle, Hook, Rico Picon, Donna, and many more. Ask your retailer to carry these fine products because you deserve the very best. For more information, visit our website at www.ziad.com. That's www.ziad.com. Ziad, quality products from our family to yours.
Life for Relief and Development is a nonprofit charity that has been providing humanitarian aid and development to people and communities regardless of race, color, religion, or cultural background for over 22 years. When disaster occurs here or around the world, Life rushes to provide food, medical aid, and shelter to those in need. Life also has development projects that provide medical relief, water purification, educational programs, relief for orphans, and much more. Your help and support can greatly improve these efforts. All donations are tax deductible. For more information, please visit our website at lifeusa.org or call 248-424-7493. That's lifeusa.org, 248-424-7493.
And welcome back to Radio Chicagoland. Ray Hanania, the Arab Daily News radio show, live on Radio Baladi on Leila El-Husseini's U.S. Arab Radio Network, live in Detroit, 690 AM radio, and live in Washington, D.C., 700 AM radio. Our number is 248-557-3300. On the line with me is a friend, Father Sean McManus. He is president of the Capitol Hill-based Irish National Caucus and of the recently formed, and I think very important, Holy Land Principles, Inc. And basically what he's trying to do is insist that irrespective of how Americans view the problems, one thing is right, American investment dollars should not subsidize any anti-Palestinian discrimination in the Holy Land, and his organization is fighting for that principle to be applied across the board, not just for one side, but for all sides. Business should treat people properly. Father McManus, thank you for joining us again this morning. How are you?
Good morning, Ray. Thank you.
I'm happy to have you on the line. How you have a pretty big campaign going, don't you? With I think it's Cisco, correct?
Yes, Cisco is the next big mission, and we have filed a resolution calling on Cisco to sign the Holy Land Principles. And its annual meeting is going to be sometime probably in November. Cisco is very important because it's a key American company doing business in the Holy Land, Palestine, Israel, Palestine. And one of the things we're also asking that company and all the other companies is this, that if they are proud of their hiring practice, if they do have a diverse working force, why not release publicly the figures that will show a breakdown on how many Jewish people, how many Arab people, etc., etc. It's a very simple ask.
And they don't want to do it.
Why don't the companies do that?
But they don't want to, right? What do you suspect is the reason why they don't want people to know who they're hiring and, where they're hiring them from?
Well, that's up to them to explain it, not for me. Ray, I'm having a little bit of a problem hearing you. You're very faint.
We can hear you very well, and I'll talk a little bit louder to make sure.
Okay.
Maybe we got a bad connection, but you're coming across loud and clear. Tell us what the fundamentals are of the Holy Land Principles. What are the top 5 points that you think are most important?
Well, number one, and this is really, to me, the most extraordinary thing, there are 545 American companies doing business in the Holy Land for years and years. And until we launched the Holy Land Principles, the hiring record of those companies was never made an issue. Nobody had raised the issue in the boardrooms or publicly or as investors or as conscientious people in America. they never focused on the hiring practices of those companies, which is quite extraordinary. To me, that's amazing, and to me that tells you, oh dear, so much about what was wrong here. So what we are saying, Ray, is that we are filling a vacuum that was crying out to be filled. What is the most essential basic duty of any American company? Fair employment. An American company in Northern Ireland or the Holy Land cannot be really responsible for borders, for political situations, for military situations, for legal issues. The one absolute thing an American company must be responsible for is fair employment. And that is so central, and that is why I feel this campaign of ours goes to the heart of the matter. Now, one of the things very importantly out of the 8 principles is, and they're fairly basic American principles relating to fair employment. One key one is that the company ought to appoint a staff member to monitor and report on progress being made regarding fair employment. That's very important. Now, it's significant that 3 companies that we had filed resolutions with, Intel, GE, and Corning, all 3 of them tried to have the SEC exclude our resolutions. And thank God the SEC, in all 3 cases, sided with the Holy Land Principles. So that's another significant thing. Why would those 3 companies have tried to get our resolution blocked? Because
do you think that they try to avoid, hiring Palestinians?
And as your introduction said, we don't ask anybody to take a position over there in the Holy Land. We're not trying to tell the Jewish folk what to do, or the Arab folk, or anybody what to do. We are simply saying, look, whatever the solution is, and we don't take any position on any solution, surely it's a reasonable, moderate, sensible thing to insist that American companies practice fair employment there and in Northern Ireland or any part of the world.
Did it have an impact in Northern Ireland when you did this under the McBride principles? What kind of impact did it have in helping bringing about some
now
resolution?
Universally, the McBride principles are recognized as having been the most important campaign ever against anti-Catholic discrimination in Northern Ireland. You see, up until that time, when we began trying to put pressure on the whole issue of discrimination in Northern Ireland, very often the British government and the political bosses in Northern Ireland would say to us, please mind your own business. Irish Americans or Americans shouldn't be interfering in our business.
Right.
But then when we came up with the McBride principles, they could no longer say that, because Americans looking after their investment dollars is a clear case of them minding their own business. So the leverage of the American companies and the leverage of American investment dollars changed everything, even though we still have a long way to go in Northern Ireland. But it has made a huge difference. And I am convinced that the Holy Land Principles can do for Palestinian people in the Holy Land what McBride did for the Catholics of Northern Ireland.
We're on the line with Father Sean McManus. He is the president of the Holy Land Principles, the organization, the Capitol Hill-based Irish National Caucus, and Holy Land Principles, Inc. Their website is holylandprinciples.org. One final question, Father McManus, if you don't mind. There's some people that believe in boycott, divestment, and sanctions. This is an alternative way, isn't it? It's a little bit different, but it tries to achieve the same goal.
Yes, we are only and exclusively concerned about the fair employment by American companies doing business there. We do not take a position on any other issue. We also state very, very clearly that the Holy Land Principles are pro-Jewish, pro-Palestinian, and pro-company. No person of conscience, no person who believes in respect and human rights can possibly oppose the Holy Land Principles.
That sounds great. Father McManus, we always appreciate you coming on the show to give us an update. We're going to be monitoring your progress in pushing Cisco to embrace these principles, to treat Palestinians and Jews equally, because you're correct. If the American companies, and I think you said that there are 545 companies doing business there, if they all agreed to treat everybody fairly, we probably would overcome most of the problems. By the way, for listeners, Father McManus has a book called The American Struggle for Justice in Northern Ireland and the Holy Land. You can go to holylandprinciples.org to get a copy of that book and also get more information on what they're trying to do. Father McManus, thank you so much for taking a minute to join with us in our show this morning.
God bless, Ray. Thank you. Bye.
We'll talk to you later. Thank you. And this is Ray Hanania here at the Arab Daily News Radio Show, live on Radio Baladi with Layla El-Husseini's U.S. Arab Radio Network. Now, let's see, how many words is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's 18 words in a title. That's a pretty big title for a radio show. We're live on 690 AM in Detroit and 700 AM in Washington, D.C. Let's take that next final break, and when we come back, maybe we can talk about the BDS movement, boycott, divestment, sanction. We can talk about Egypt. We can talk about all the other issues, and maybe you want to even talk about Mr. Robot, the new TV show on USA Network on cable television that stars an American Arab, Egyptian-American Hollywood actor, Rami Malek. And whenever I see an Arab on TV, I watch the program, and as it turns out, Mr. Robot is actually pretty cool. It's a great program. You should be watching it. I'm Ray Hanania. We're going to take our final break, and when we come back, we will continue the discussion right here at the Arab Daily News Radio Show, 248-557-3300. We'll be right back right after these messages.
From their first words to first grade, Dreamy Children's Center will help get your child on the right track. The highly qualified staff works closely with parents to provide an experience that goes beyond early education. We can help nurture important personality traits with the use of educational programs ranging from preschooling for infants to Montessori-approved programs and bilingual curriculums for young children. All meals can be provided, and we can arrange for after-school pickup. Dreamy Children's Center in Dearborn Heights on Warren, in Westland on Ann Arbor Trail, and in Troy on DeQuinder.
We would like to send a special thank you to our Ramadan sponsors, which include Sling TV, Life for Relief, the Law Office of Jumana Keirus, Ziad Brothers Importing, Dr. Azul Haley, Dr. Nesreen Sawan, Dreamy Children's Centers, Karama Relief Foundation, American Muslim Center, Islamic Organization of North America, Islamic Center of Detroit, Energy International Corporation, Pagana and Associates, ACC Community Health Center, NJ Diamond, Betsy's Bridal and Formal Bridal, New Concept Product and Design, Dearborn Rotisserie, Kashat Mediterranean Market, Zamzam Market, Mohan Famous Shawarmas, and a special thanks to our media sponsors, which include Ray Hanania and the Arab Daily News, Al Mas TV, Forum and Link, Yemeni American News, Jamil Leti Magazine, Syria Productions, Studio One, and Hassan Altaf.
And welcome back to the Arab Daily News Radio Show here on Radio Baladi and Layla El-Husseini's U.S. Arab Radio Network. Our number, 248-557-3300. I'm Ray Hanania, and I'll be here another 12 minutes or so. If you want to call in at 248-557-3300. By the way, if you get a chance, you look up the Arab Daily News online at the ArabDailyNews.com, or you go to our Facebook page, and they got some great stories there. One of the stories that I really enjoyed was one written by one of our writers at the ArabDailyNews.com, Abdin Noor-Toumi, who wrote a little feature about the significance of mustaches in the Middle East and the Arab and Islamic world, but especially in Turkish politics. And the truth is, your mustache, there's several different kinds, and your mustache represents your politics. So you might want to check that out. The Quintessential Mustache, Facial Hair in Turkish Politics by Abdin Noor-Toumi. You got to take it out. He did a great job, and I thought it was really fascinating. Recently, there are not a lot of TV shows that feature American Arabs. Now, Mr. Robot isn't about an Arab. It's about a hacker. It's a computer drama. It's about a very talented computer hacker who works at a computer security company. It's on the USA Network. I just watched the third episode this season. It's the first season of Mr. Robot. The star is Rami Malek, and Rami has actually appeared in many TV and Hollywood roles, including Night at the Museum in 2006. He was a regular on the Fox comedy series The War at Home and on the HBO miniseries The Pacific. He also appeared in Larry Crown. Rami Malek is an Egyptian American. There are a couple actors who have done pretty well, and we want to support him because I'm telling you, some people go, oh, he's Egyptian, I'm not going to support him. No, you have to support him. He's still Arab. Doesn't matter whether he's Christian. Doesn't matter whether he's Muslim. Doesn't matter whether whatever, because it's not what we think we are. It's what Americans, when they look at us, we're all the same. We're vanilla. Muslim, Christian, Arab, Egyptian, Palestinian. They don't see the difference. I'm telling you. They hate us all, some of them. A lot of them, in fact. So whenever an Arab does something good, we should support them. We should support them and not be so judgmental. Chill out, people. Give them some support. Rami Malek is doing a great job. He plays a neurotic, hacker on this TV show. And it's with his co-actor is Christian Slater, who was a lead male character in that phenomenal movie of all time called True Romance. If you follow movies, True Romance also starred Patricia Arquette, who played Alabama. And I'll tell you what, that was one of my favorite movies, True Romance. And Christian Slater is phenomenal. And Christian Slater is in this series on the USA Network called Mr. Robot. I urge you to watch it because you should be supporting Arabs. You want to do something for yourself? Watch the program. Support it so it gets good ratings, so he's successful. That doesn't mean that in his success he's going to be good to the rest of the Arab community, but the odds are in our favor that as Arabs become successful in this country, they will do things to help their community, and most of them do. Some of them don't, but who cares? Play the odds. 70% will always do the right thing. 30% won't. That's the way life is. Human nature. It doesn't matter what your ethnicity or religion. That's the way it's going to be. So I'd rather bet and watch this guy's TV series, Mr. Robot, and support him solely because he's an Arab American and solely because I know that the odds are in our favor, that if he's successful, maybe he becomes the next Omar Sharif. Maybe he becomes the next famous Arab American. If we had more famous Arab Americans, we would actually have a bigger impact on the American people. And, I don't know, maybe you agree. Maybe you don't think it's important, but I do. 248-557-3300 if you want to express an opinion. So watch that, Mr. Robot. And if you want more information on it, go to our website at thearabdailynews.com. It's there, 800,000 people visit the page every month, and I love to get the feedback. I'd love to hear what you have to think. 248-557-3300 is our number. We were talking a little bit about BDS. I'm a big supporter of BDS, contrary to what you hear people say. I do support boycotting Israel's settlements. I support targeting everything that Israel does in the West Bank and the occupied territories, including East Jerusalem. I support boycotting anything Israel does to oppress the people in the Gaza Strip. Because I support the peace process and two states. Even though it's not working, I still in principle support two states and peace based on two states. So I don't boycott Israel. You know, that's just the way I am. I think we should boycott what's wrong and push for what's right. There are a lot of Israelis and American and Jews in Israel, a lot of Israelis who support Palestinian rights. So I support them. And I don't want to isolate them and make enemies out of people that don't have to be our enemies. So I know a lot of people disagree with me about that, but, you know, hey, tolerance, disagreement, public discussion, that's called education. You know, you can't have 3 PhDs and attack people because they have an opinion that you disagree with. 248-557-3300. The other big story that I'm writing about this week is Egypt, democracy in Egypt. There's no democracy in Egypt. You don't arrest 17 journalists and sentence them to death because they wrote things that contradicted, you know, the message of the government. On the other hand, the Muslim Brotherhood, you know, basically has reverted to terrorism again. They never really were interested in democracy. Mohammed Morsi was elected, but it's one of these things that you can't run for elective office, take an office in a democratic election, and then spend your time destroying the democracy that gave you the power. You can't do that. And if you do it, then they should throw you in jail, and that's what they've done with Mohammed Morsi. It's sad to see the Arab world. Can democracy even work in the Arab world? I don't think so. I don't think that the Arab world even understands what democracy really is, because democracy requires tolerance. You and I can disagree, and we should tolerate each other, even though we disagree. But you know what? In the Arab world, we don't do that. We get angry. We want to beat each other over the head. You say one thing that someone doesn't like, and they will go out of their way to destroy you. They will, you know, they won't beat up on the enemy, the Israelis, but they'll beat up on you because they're angry and they disagree and they get emotional. And it's really a tragedy because it drags the Arab people down. And we try to change that here as American Arabs in this country. We try to be good Americans. And we're Americans first and foremost. And then we're Arab. And then we're Muslim and Christian. And then we stand up for all the things that were right. But we got to be successful Americans, and we got to make this a better country and change the mistakes that this country is making. Obama isn't the best president in the world, but he's a good president. He's trying. He doesn't get enough support. We got a couple of minutes left if you want to call in. If not, don't worry. I can talk forever. It's one of the things that I've been able to do. My parents wanted me to be a doctor or a grocery store owner, and I ended up becoming a journalist and a writer. In a way, I'm kind of happy. Now I do media relations. I run the media and public relations for about 14 government agencies now in Illinois and Washington. I do some clients in Detroit, or at least I had some. I love public relations because strategic public relations is the answer to all our problems. If we knew how to better speak, if we knew how to better communicate, if we knew how to message properly, it's not what you say, but how you say it. If we knew that, we would be winning. The Arab people would be on top of the mountain today. But we're not, because we spend more time fighting, relying on emotion, getting argumentative, and not being strategic. So that's what I do. I work with people. I help them become strategic. I help them focus on what they need to do and say. What do you need to do to change the minds of people who disagree with you? Because the one thing about Americans, and I'm very proud of this, they're willing to change their mind when you make a good case that they're wrong. It's just getting to them to get them to understand that they're wrong. It'll make a difference. All right, listen, I just want to thank everybody for joining us this morning here on the Arab Daily News radio show on Layla Al-Husseini's Radio Baladi and U.S. Arab Radio Network. You need to support her. You need to support Layla Al-Husseini. We need to support everybody in the Arab community. We have enough people that hate us. Let's not be part of that process. Let's be the solution, not the problem. Be the solution. Make a commitment this week that you're going to do something good for the Arab community, and that means supporting the Arab community. I want to thank Adam for all the work and effort he put in. It looks like I'm going to be sitting in 2 weeks from now also here at WNZK Radio. 2 weeks from today on the 24th, Friday the 24th, I'll be back for a special show Friday morning on the 24th. So I hope you'll join me again in 2 weeks when I'm back here at WNZK 690 AM. Go to our website at thearabdailynews.com and we'll get more information. Adam, thank you very much. Everybody, you have a great week. We will talk to you later. Bye-bye, everybody.